let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go. 6. It's beautiful. Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Start your day with a jolt of energy and no-holds-barred opinions. This is The Rush, where Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bring you bold, unfiltered, and uncensored takes on sports, life, and everything in between. Buckle up, and let's go.
Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you along on the 28th of July. We're finishing up yet another month. State Fair right around the corner.
Man.
If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, on the Rush Radio Android app or the TuneIn app, thank you so much for putting us in your cars this morning. If you're watching on YouTube, give this channel a subscription. Give the video a like. Also, start leaving your comments in the comment section. And, of course, you can follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Back from the mighty state of Wisconsin is the one, the only Ross Peterson. What's going on there, buddy?
Refreshed again, dude. Doubly refreshed. Canada, Wisconsin, fishing, camping, family, friends. I'm fulfilled, my friend. Fulfilled.
See, where you and I differ is that, and this is why my wife just sits there and shakes her head at me, and it's the camping part of it. Because I've always been, you like to camp. I don't like to camp. My wife doesn't like to camp. Now, I've tried to get interested in camping by saying, well, if we're going to camp, we need to get an RV. We need to, I'm not going to pitch a tent. I'm going to get an RV to make it feel like I'm living in a house. Now I've backed off of that. If you talked to me 3 years ago, I was looking at RVs. I was looking at campers going, okay, we can go. I feel comfortable pulling a 24-footer. Got to that 29-footer. I'm like, that's like pulling a really big trailer. I'm not into that. But now I've totally axed that plan. I'm out. I'm out of the camping game.
This is camping in name only. Okay, I got to tell you, it's not. I used to be the pitch a tent, sleep on the ground, sleeping bag on the ground in my tent. Loved it. Loved for a long time. Loved it. Nah, I'm done with that. So this is
you're a cabin dude.
We call it a cabin, and then we get about halfway up there, and you have to tell if people are going for the first time, you have to say, "Oh, hey, by the way, this isn't really a cabin. When you pull up on it, it looks like a warehouse in a field. You know what I mean? It's a metal building." And my cousin, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen this. I'm just like my cousin created this idea, but they take a giant metal barn and they take a third of it and make it a living quarters. They make a third of it a 2-story house.
So it's like these newfound barndominiums. Have you seen these lately?
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. I think that's probably what it's. There's names for it. You know what I mean? They're awesome. Is what they are. They're perfect. And we can store all the toys in there. There's a pool table and a ping pong table and kayaks and 4-wheelers and trails for days to walk and take the 4-wheelers. There's a couple different ponds to fish. There's a few different trout streams that run through this land. It's my cousin's other grandpa who owned that land. And so he invites us up there to be a part of that. So super duper fun time, but not people do camp. My nephew, Tanner, he took his girlfriend and him took their tent and camped. He had a really cool tent that sits off the ground.
Really?
So
and you put a blow up bed in there and stuff like that or not?
Well, I think they just had sleeping bag, but the entire thing sat about a foot off the ground on this little platform thing. Looked super cool. We walked up and I'm sitting there and they were just waking up and I'm like, man, that thing looks awesome. Is it comfy? And without missing a beat, his girlfriend Caitlin goes, no.
No, I want a bed. I want a queen size bed. I want a mattress top on top of it. I need my orthopedic. My back's killing me. Can't wait to leave.
my cousin Sandy and her husband Audie, who goes fishing with me up in Canada. They now he does it right. He has an actual tent, but then they have the big cots inside of it. So it's tent camping, but then once you get inside, it looks like a bedroom. You know what I mean? The beds are elevated, they're nice and comfy. Then Susie and Alec both bring campers. So I'm the only one, well, one of the only ones that actually sleeps inside the barn dominium thing.
Well, I'm going to ask you a real estate question. This was not on the show rundown today. Lots of things on the show rundown, but you know, I see a lot of builders getting into the barn dominium thing, or barndominium.
However you want to say it. Yeah. Whatever. We think we know what people are talking about, right?
Is that a real estate fad? And what I mean is, are people going to build these and like 5 years go, I'm living in a freaking barn?
I don't think so. I mean, everything changes, Travis. You know what I mean? Everything changes.
Yeah.
The fad that I think that's happening right now that you and I have talked about, we've had guys come talk to us in our office. The tiny house thing is a real deal.
Well, I'm about to fall victim to that. And I haven't, my wife keeps telling me that, but hear me out, is that I'm going to use the tiny house if we were to do this for a space like down in Mississippi so I can just go, so I don't have to stay with my daughter. I'm actually looking for a patch of land, just kind of a park ready tiny house that I could just hook up and then, have it there and maybe Airbnb it or whatever, but kind of like that second home to where I only need 500 square feet and use it that way. Not would I want to live in 500 square feet full time? The answer to that is no, but over a week, I don't think I'd have a problem with it.
Right. If it were a getaway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I took some Rush merch up as one of the Christmas gifts.
Really?
Yeah. My cousin Susie, who's a big fan, luckily she was the one that pulled that gift from the bag. Because my thought was when that gets pulled, people are, if one of my aunts or uncles pulls, they're gonna be like, got a mug with Ross's name on it.
You could say, yeah, but it has Travis's name on there too. So you don't know him. So
you don't know him. You might like him. You might like him. But Susie's a big fan. So Susie opened it and like hat was on, mug was in hand. I was like, yeah, you should have snapped a photo. Why didn't I get a photo? Anyway.
Speaking of Rush Radio Show merch, we got a new shirt and hoodie up on the store today. And if you go to therushradio.com, click on the merch tab, the Let's Make Lemonade shirt. Now, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. That means if you're a regular listener to the show, you'll know that in our open, there's a scene from Tropic Thunder that we always use. And there's a line from Robert Downey Jr. that says, let's make lemonade. Let's make lemonade. And so I thought that would be a good shirt. And it's up on there, and it just says, let's make lemonade. Got some lemonade on it, got some lemons on there, got our logo on there. And instead of just wearing a shirt that says, hey, The Rush, you can go, well, let's make lemonade. And that's a conversation starter. What is that? So that's where we're at.
Yeah. It's 25, I think, is another one that people have been asking for.
Yeah, that's coming out. I think we're going to launch that next week. Next week is when it's 25 is coming out.
You did send me a full rundown of like heavy topics. Not heavy topics. I shouldn't say heavy topics. Stuff that we can talk about. Lots of meat on several of these bones that you threw out. And you were all worried a couple weeks ago, like, oh man. What are we talking about? Baseball?
We talk more about the WNBA, and you're like, no more about the WNBA.
Yeah, things will come up.
Is on the rundown, but maybe not for the reason that you think. Before we dive into that stuff, I do want to say congratulations to Sean Roberts.
Yeah.
Sean Roberts had a baby over the weekend. I'm sorry, his wife had a baby over the weekend, and they are now parents, a baby boy. And I know how much Sean was looking forward to this and wanting a baby, and now they got Miles. They got Miles. He's a big boy. I texted him yesterday. I said, dude, at 8 pounds, 14 ounces, 21 inches long, you got yourself a Notre Dame linebacker. So, and it's hard to explain parenthood to first-time parents, but you have to experience it. You're going to go through everything, but it is the greatest joy ever, and we're happy for Sean. I mean, that's a It's a big deal.
It's the best line ever. It's the pinnacle of the human existence, man. You're never gonna love something you hate so much in your life. It's wild. It's the wildest experience. All these things that your dad says to you, hopefully, if you have, if you grew up in a home like that, about being proud of you and loving you and wanting to watch you be happy and succeed. It's weird. It's weird. You think you know what that means until you experience it, and it's overwhelming.
And it never changes. Like, I texted Owen yesterday. I hadn't seen him since Wednesday night, right? I haven't seen him or talked to him. I'm like, hey, are you alive? Because what are you talking about? I go, I'm sorry. I go, your mom and I are just sitting here on the back porch. We are literally a month away from being empty nesters. I said, you're going to have to get used to this because your sisters are going to be a long ways away. You are 3 blocks away. This is my way of saying, I love you. I would like to see you. I should have just come out and said, hey, why don't you come over and hang with us? But I don't know if I could have handled the no. So it was just like, hey, are you alive? Yeah, I'm alive. And
have you and Anjanette talked about the incentives you're going to have to throw at him and Lizzie to keep him around? Because you need...
I know. How do I incentivize that?
I don't know. Talk to him.
I don't know.
I don't think it's keeping him busy. But maybe that's
no,
it.
he's got plenty to do. I think he ignores me because every time he comes over to the house, he ends up working. And so I don't know how to incentivize that. I can't pay him because then it just becomes... Then I feel bad because I got to pay you to have you come see me. But yeah, we were just sitting outside roasting yesterday because I've learned more about corn sweat in the last 2 weeks than I ever thought I would understand about corn sweat. But sitting outside in the blazing heat yesterday, I mowed the yard yesterday, and there's probably never. Did you get yours mowed before you left? Because I know you had like a hay field.
No, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. It's not. It doesn't look like. First thing that's awful is my neighbor had the audacity to mow his lawn, so it makes mine look bad in contrast. The gall of this guy.
How could you mow your yard, keep your yard up to date, and make me look bad?
Anyway, but so it's not like it's that bad that it looks like, oh, what's going on over there? But with the rain last night, I think we have rain today, rain next couple days. It might be hayfield time by the time we get back around to it. So.
Yeah, I mowed. It was probably in the mid 90s when I mowed yesterday. I think I got a little heat stroke because Anjanette says I came in and I just like fell asleep. She goes, that's not like you to take a nap or go to sleep during the day. I go, I was not feeling well. I had a headache. My back hurt. I'm like, I wonder if I had a little pre-heat stroke going on. I needed to sleep that off. Or it might have been the really tall 32-ounce vodka sodas that I had right after I was done mowing that combined with the heat stroke. Yeah. Who knows? But you mentioned the heavy stuff. And the big story over the weekend is that I believe today the Board of Regents meet, and they're going to find out about the Iowa State athletic budget that we find out now, Ross, is $147 million in the hole projected. This is projected now through the year 2031. And maybe somewhat of a surprise. I was kind of caught off guard by the number. Were you caught off guard by the number? 147 million, which, by the way, works out to $24.5 million a year for the next 6 years. And what's the salary cap we have? $20.5 million. A lot leading up to this, a lot to take in. And we're going to get into, stuff that's going to be cut, and ways are going to try to make up this revenue. But just your first impressions off $147 million budget shortfall by the Iowa State Athletic Department.
Dude, I guess I wasn't surprised at all by it. Is that, I thought this was the stuff that they'd kind of alluded to a couple months ago. When we had Bloom on, we had Jamie Pollard on about halfway between this news breaking and when we when we thought that was that when that news was getting leaked out that there was going to be something was coming, they were a ways behind. The $24 million a year, when you got a $20 million, no, I'm not surprised by this. They've been running this zero-sum nonprofit game for a long time. They've been spending a lot of money for a long time.
Which is what you should do. I mean, if you want those things to balance. You want to have cash reserves, but that's a lot of cash reserve if you're going to have.
It's a lot. I think it just was. Here's again. I'm guessing, dude. I know 2% of what happened inside Jamie Pollard's office, and Jamie probably knows 40% of what happened inside the Big 12 office, and the Big 12 knows 10. You know what I mean? We're all guessing. We're all trying to see through the stars. My thought is that I've thought this for a long time, that Jamie Pollard saw this coming. That Jamie Pollard saw, he's a smart guy, and said, hey, guys, there's a big train coming of bills because they're going to change the game on us. And we need to save some money. And I think that it just was bigger than they thought it was going to be. Because they did change some things, and he did try to move some things around and put some things in place. I mean, look at we've bragged on Jamie Pollard enough. Look at all the things that he has done, even recently in the last couple of years, anticipating this coming. We got to find other revenue sources. We got to find different ways to use this land. We got to find ways to get some cash coming in the door. And I just don't think that part happened fast enough. And I think that the bills were bigger than he anticipated.
And you're coming off COVID. Let's not forget the COVID created a financial strain.
That's great, dude. I think I still kind of forget when people mention that. My brain does this. Oh yeah. My brain still does this thing of like, really, we're just a couple years on the heels of that. We still are picking up the pieces from some things on that, and you forget about that. I do. Huh.
I will say this, and again, this is purely speculation. This is purely opinion, and nothing to back it up. But and before I go into this, somebody had mentioned that Iowa State's not going to be the only one in trouble here, right? I mean,
right. That's a fair point. That's a very good point.
There will be other universities that are feeling the exact same pain. The reason this has to come out is that you have to present a budget to the Board of Regents to let them know where things are going. Makes perfect good sense. I would say that Jamie Pollard is an accountant. You might as well paint a dire picture, lower the expectations, and then find a way at the end of this to go, see how we manage this, see how we were able to get creative. And the hole maybe wasn't as deep as they thought. And it does force you to tighten your bootstrings a little bit. Now, there's a lot of reasons, and we'll get into them this morning. But maybe the unintended consequence of the House settlement, and this is where I've struggled with the House settlement, is the back pay to all these former athletes. When we had Brian Harden on, he talked about the number that Drake had to pay just to be part of the House settlement. And what was his? Was it like $300,000 or $400,000 a year that Drake had to pay?
Think so.
Which is a small number compared to what these Power 4 schools. So if you're in the Big 10, if you're in the Big 12, you're in the SEC, the ACC, the amount of money you have to pay to the NCAA and the House settlement is an astronomical number every single year. And that's over 10 years to get that, $2.8 billion paid. This is where I'm harsh. This is where I don't have a heart. To me, rules change. Some people benefit from a rule change. Some people don't. I don't know if anybody's truly entitled to back pay here, Ross. I know it's going to happen, but I don't think you should be on the hook to go back and pay everybody what you think. And it's going to be minimal in a lot of cases. It's not like people are going to get rich. It's not going to be life-changing money. I know $2.8 billion sounds like a lot of money. You spread that over from 2016 to today, that's a lot. it's going to be minimal over 10 years. At least I think it is.
The back pay thing is something, Travis, I agree with you on. And I never thought that was something that they could go retroactive on this and go, oh, okay, they changed the rules, so now let's go back and grab some of the money that's been spent. Again, we've talked a lot about this. The money, it was a cash flow game. The money was coming in and going right back out. The money was coming in, it was going to locker rooms. The money comes in, it goes to coaches' salaries. The money comes in, it goes to other things. It does not sit around. And so this thing of like, hey, we want some of that cash that's sitting around. There's nothing there, guys. And maybe that's the thing that actually bankrupts the system more than all right, going forward, we got to start cutting the players in on the pie. Maybe that's the thing that actually was like, oh, crap, we got to pay all those dudes too? And girls. All these athletes? The back pay thing is one that I'm amazed there's not more pushback on that, and I don't know where the pushback would come from. I don't even understand like how this legally works. Who's the one that stands up and says, "Hey, wait a minute, this isn't fair." We understand that the our side, the universities, took advantage of their side, the players, for a very long time. We get that, and we're changing that going forward. Unintended consequences, Trav.
Yeah, the unintended consequence. And the reason they settled with the back pay is that if it went to court, there was a possibility that they could have lost, and the number been substantially bigger than $2.8 billion. So, I mean, $2.8 billion is a lot of money. There was a possibility that if you lose, that number is double, triple, quadruple that number, which would have financially ruined not just the NCAA. It would financially ruin a lot of athletic departments. So I mean that's why you settle. The thing here is that there's going to be more litigation. There's going to be more lawsuits that come out that could cost universities even more money. So how do you start? How do you start trimming the fat? Should we say? Well, Iowa State has already found two places really big to start trimming the fat, and that is not going through with the Hilton Coliseum renovation and not going through with a performance center, which would have benefited the wrestling program. So you're talking $25 million in the Hilton Coliseum renovation, and I believe it was $19 million in a performance center addition and renovation. Let's start with Hilton Coliseum. So this was proposed back in 2019, I believe it was to widen the concourses and stuff like that. The reason that goes on the chopping block, at least in my opinion, is there's nothing there to drive revenue, right? You're creating a better fan experience, but if you aren't creating revenue on the renovations, why do them? Because you want renovations to drive revenue. Same with the performance center. Sure, you're going to give better facilities to your wrestling team. You're going to be giving better facilities to your track and field team, but they're not driving actual revenue. And that's where we can get into Sci-Town. Sci-Town is what people are like, what are you building Sci-Town for? Well, you're building Sci-Town because you've partnered with a developer who's going to take on a lot of that expense up front. And then when you get a hotel, you get retail, you get apartments in there, that creates revenue.
There you go. That's exactly as you're going through those and you go, okay, Hilton Coliseum renovations. Tyler writes in there, man, Hilton really needs those renovations. It does. Hilton's a great place. This is not a knock on Hilton. I think everybody understands that it needs some updates. It's also a concrete structure through and through. This is not ripping up some floorboards, cutting some things. It's serious work. And Travis, you nailed it. All of those things, and the performance center as well. Is that a benefit to the university? No doubt about it. Is it something that they need to stay in the rat race of college wrestling? Yeah, they do. Is it going to drive revenue at all? Man, maybe in some If you do the mental gymnastics over a long course of time,
maybe.
Sci-Town is a definite. Sci-Town is again accounting. Sci-Town is at this point in, we're going to spend this amount of money, and then on this date we're going to start making money. Hopefully, I think I'm with you, Trav. I think this is the way to the Hilton thing.
If the Hilton project included the creation of suites, then that might change the story, because I just went through this as we proposed. My company didn't get it, but we went through the expansion of Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, right? And the addition of loge seats, and it's all revenue. Everything they do is based on revenue that you're going to make. So right now they're up to like a $600 million renovation of the stadium. But the payback on that, based on suites and fan experience of what a premium will buy, it gives you enough revenue to pay that debt off. So if the Hilton Coliseum renovation project would have included like addition of suites on both sides or all the way around, you'd go, okay, the expense there will be paid off in like 10 years based on the number of suites that you could sell. Here you were talking about widening concourses, which obviously need to be done, updated concession areas, understand that. The one that concerns me the most is because it's usually the most expensive part of a construction project is the aging mechanical system. You know, and when I talk mechanical, I'm talking heating, air conditioning, plumbing. When that stuff starts to age out, that gets to be a really expensive price tag. But if it's not generating revenue, you can go, hey, can we kick that can a little farther? How much more can we get out of this system?
And you also know this, Trav, delaying that stuff never makes it cheaper.
No.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird, not a weird thing. It's a very obvious thing. Very obvious thing. Inflation happens, prices go up, especially on this scale. That's where it gets you really in the nuggets, is when you're talking about millions of dollars, percentage changes are millions of dollars. Yeah, it's a $600 million project, but everything went up 2%. Oh, okay. What did that add to our thing? $12 million. Thought you said 2%. I did.
I mean, a building we built 14 years ago for $27 million. I think we did the math the other day. It's like a $55 million building today. And people are going, how is that possible? It just is, you know, and
the cost of everything is why, right, Trav? I mean, you know this. You guys break this stuff down to the dollars and cents.
That's why we work with a lot of people preliminary. Say, hey, let's say you don't want to do this for 3 years. We say, here's what it costs today. But you build in escalation and you say, hey, if you wait, this is most likely going to be your cost. Now, we'll look for savings and stuff, but you have to plan for escalation. And that's the hard part. You're right. A $25 million renovation today is going to cost $35 in 3 years. Or you kick it 6 years, it's going to cost $40. At that point, you go, do we just build a new arena?
Yeah. All right, so, Trav, let's talk about some possible solutions here. Do you want to do this now, or you want to carry this conversation on?
Let's take a break. 515-517-2303. We're going to be talking about this for a long time, so just hang back with us. Love to get your comments. Love to get your thoughts as well, so give us a phone call. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
The Royal Mile, where everyone's a wee bit British. The Royal Mile is downtown Des Moines' living room with classic pub favourites. Pair them with a glass of whiskey or an expertly poured Guinness. It's bloody brilliant. The Royal Mile, a proper British pub.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza. The patio is open and ready for you, your friends, and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening this summer at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah. Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Brendan Santone here with Willis Cadillac. Bringing in the month of July, we are having quite a few specials, especially on the lease side of all 25 EV models, as well as having 26 CT5 and 4 show up. So we do have a few on ground. A few 25 models are available left for the CT4. We do have available Escalades and Blackwings available for you to purchase. Visit us online at williscadillac.com or stop in and visit us here on 100th Street over in Clive at the Cadillac store.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Pump it up with the Unleaded 88. It's grown by corn farmers right here in the state of Iowa. So pump it up with Unleaded 88. Go to iowacorn.org to learn more. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. Talking a lot this morning about the Iowa State athletic budget. It's going to be presented to the Board of Regents this week. $147 million deficit through the year 2031.
So what do the regents do about it? I'm being very serious. I know sometimes I do things with a smart ass tone and condescending, and I don't want to be that way. I genuinely don't know, and I'm curious about what some of the responses from the regents will be. And I guess what should we expect?
Well, I think this is a smart thing. It's not like you're coming in and going, hey, I don't know what we're going to do. Right? It appears Iowa State has a plan, which the Board of Regents should like. And that is, okay, you've given us ways you want to cut. You're going to stop the Hilton project. You're going to stop the Performance Center project. You've already said that you're going to cut expenditures from all sports. And Olympic sports are going to be probably the most affected here when it comes to trips and other things like that. but you're also coming with other solutions to raise more money. And I don't have a problem with this, in meaning that Iowa State is finally going to charge sales tax on its tickets. It's always charged sales tax, but it's absorbed the cost, right? So when you, instead of saying, hey, your tickets are this plus sales tax, they've just said your tickets are this, and they've absorbed the cost and paid the money out of that. So now you're going to pay for your football tickets, you're going to pay for your basketball tickets, and you're going to pay whatever it is a year plus the sales tax. And I don't have a problem with that. Having been a business owner myself, Ross, and had to make those monthly payments to the Department of Revenue, it's a big chunk. It is a big chunk of money that if you absorb that, it's a pain. It's a real pain. Now you're just saying, okay, we're going to keep instead of absorbing that and say, let's just use a number, $350, right? Well, you've absorbed your whatever your sales tax rate is, 7.5%, whatever it is, and you would take 7.5% and write a check to the state. Well, now it's going to be, we're going to keep the $330 and then charge you that 7%. And I don't have a problem with that. I mean, you go to any department store anywhere, it's not like they're selling your jeans for $19.99. You're paying $19.99 plus a sales tax. I mean, that's common practice. So I don't have a problem with that. But if you are a Cyclone,
booster
club member, you're going to see a 20% increase. 20% increase in your membership to be part of the Cyclone Club. That's pretty stiff at 20%. But that's the price of doing business. At least they're coming to the Board of Regents with if you don't show up with a plan, Boards of Regents are going to say, do you know what the hell you're doing?
Yeah, right. That's a good way. I'm glad you're right, Travis. So the Regents, on top of these things that I keep wanting to put it on Jamie, on top of these things Jamie Pollard is coming to them with, on top of these things that Iowa State is going to walk in the door with today and say, here's where we're at, here's what we think we can do to get it where, what can the Regents do, or what do you think the Regents do? Like, I've seen in some of my text group threads ideas like, season ticket tax, seat licensing taxes. In some universities, they've put like a tax on the tuition, and an additional $200 for each student will now go to the athletic department. All of that.
I hope that doesn't happen, because not every student uses the athletic department. Not every student goes to basketball games. Not every student goes to football. I don't think this should be put back on the students of Iowa State. I mean, it's already expensive enough to go to college. People are going into debt. Some people are. A lot of people are to get it. I don't know if should have to fund the debt of an athletic department. I think that to me, Ross, the Board of Regents should say, Jamie, over the last 20 years, you've earned our trust. You've ran this fiscally responsible. You've come here with a plan. We're going to trust you. And that's what great leadership does. I mean, if you have the people in place that you believe are the right people to run your department, which Jamie Pollard definitely has proven that over time, that you go, okay, you've come to us with a plan. Just keep us updated and how that plan is working and how you're going to adjust up or down based on your projections. I think that's what the Board of Regents should do, whether they do that or not. But I
like that. And you're right. Jamie's earned that long leash and that right for them to say, okay, Jamie, do your thing. I don't think some of those other things are off the table, right? Because the Board of Regents could do any of the other states have done this. Other states have said, hey, we get it that not all 15,000 students are take advantage of the athletic program. You're all paying. Travis, like you talk about, man, it's expensive. Sending a kid to college right now is expensive. There's a lot of bills that add up and pile on. Dude, being a fan is expensive.
It is. I mean, from being a fan, not just from the tickets that you buy and the parking that you buy, but if you make a commitment to go to, let's say, every home game, well, you You're stopping. You got your RV. You got your parking spot. You got your tailgate. I know that revenue doesn't go to the university, some of that, but it does fuel the economy when you go shopping for. You go to Central City Liquors for your liquor beforehand. You go to a grocery store beforehand to stock up on your meats and everything like that. It's not a cheap weekend by any means.
So I've seen this stuff before. Like Ray, I love Ray's idea here. For a long time, I was a proponent of, wait a minute, if the athletic department's making a lot of money, like the Iowa athletic department's going to make $100 million a year on the Big Ten television contract, right? Why isn't that lowering the tuition? Why that money? You know what? That money should go back to lowering the tuition. Man, that money gets spent pretty quick. So just doing the math here. There's 30,000 students roughly at Iowa State. So if you took $100 million and divided that by 30,000, it's $3,000 per kid. And that's the
$100,000 tax.
No. And you can't just take them. My point is, it doesn't even make that much of a difference on the tuition.
Yeah.
Once you divide it amongst everybody, the math, man, math. This stuff is crazy, Trav. And
now, if I'm the Board of Regents, I'd look Jamie Pollard in the eye and go, "Okay, Jamie, we need a commitment that you're going to be here through 2031.
Wow.
We trust you. We know you can get us out of this.
Man, why does that feel like a prenup? Why? You're right. I totally get what you're saying, but
it would be hard to.
If
Jamie, somebody wants to retire, somebody wants to retire. You can't behold
or gets offered another great job, and I think if I'm Jamie Pollard, that'd be my fear of like, yeah.
I mean, if Jamie Pollard was going to take a job, he would have done so by now. I do believe that he's going to finish his career at Iowa
and
State.
I think that Cy-Town is kind of his legacy type of thing. It's long outlives Jamie Pollard, long outlives his kids. That's a legacy that he's leaving behind there. And I think that you're right, that if you leave mid-project, if you leave before you see that thing to completion, it could leave a sour taste in people's mouth. It will forever be that kind of like, oh yeah, remember when that guy did this? 40 years of dedication and turning that program around and being amazing. That you could spoil it. That's a good way to look at it.
I would still say that probably the most expensive part of running an athletic department are people. Any business, people are your most expensive part, right? And you just asked your coaches to take a pay cut through COVID. You just signed Matt Campbell and TJ Otzelberger to contract extensions that included pay raises. Do you go and say, hey, I need you to take...
I mean, I literally Googled, when does the college football coach's salary bubble pop? You know what AI says?
Never.
No, never. What are you talking about? You think people are going to make less money?
Because you're always going to have at least some university willing to pay what they think their return on investment is. Now, what may change are the huge buyouts and say, hey, we'll pay you, but we're not going to pay you forever.
So I'll be interested, man. This will be interesting seeing what the Regents' response is to Iowa State, because you're probably right, Travis, that they look at this and say, we trust you. We like that you came here with a plan. Go get them and good luck. And maybe they throw a few additional ideas into the pot as well. Here's a few revenue streams. Here's some things we'll allow you to do, because most of where is the Regents' jurisdiction? I guess is probably my question here. Do the Regents have to approve like all stuff related to money?
Yeah, this is why I don't like the way, this is set up, right? And I wish each university had its own board of regents. I wish the board of regents wasn't tied to all three major universities. I wish Iowa State had its own board of regents. I wish Iowa had its own board of regents. I wish UNI had its own board of regents. Because I think it becomes political, right? There's politics when you are part of the board of regents. Now, the nice part is, I believe in Iowa, those are appointed positions. Where I live in Nebraska, they're elected positions, and it becomes even more political.
Wow.
Yes. I would much rather have an appointed board than an elected board, because then you start pandering to demographics. I believe appointed boards are much better. But you look at Texas A&M, you look at Texas Tech, Ross, they all have their individual board of regents or board of governors, whatever they want to call it. But
so we're kind of okay.
What I like here about the $147 million, not that nobody likes debt, by the way, and debt always is not a bad thing, in meaning that when you build a stadium or whatever, you take on debt knowing that it's going to generate revenue. I don't think it's being presented as the sky is falling type thing. I think what you're saying here is we're going to tighten our bootstraps. We're going to find additional ways to make revenue. We're going to make cuts where cuts are necessary, but the sky's not falling.
Yeah.
I don't get, and everything I've read, everything I heard, it doesn't come off as a dire situation.
When we talked to Jamie, you didn't get that impression from him.
Yeah.
When we've talked to people inside the athletic department that have seen under the hood a little bit, there was a moment. There were some scary times, I think, when they first came to this realization, but then they saw that there was a plan, and I'm with you, Travis. I don't think they're panicking, and I haven't read any of this as like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to, shut the doors to the bridge.
Yeah, the bridge is getting built.
Wouldn't that be symbolic? The bridge is built. Wouldn't that be symbolic if they just went and
here? Here's what you could do. You could go old school with the bridge. All of a sudden, it becomes a toll bridge. It's a toll bridge.
We got to pay for this thing. Okay?
We're going old school. It's going to be a toll bridge until it's paid for. There's a bridge just south of me that's still a toll bridge. I go, isn't this thing paid off yet? Yeah, but it generates.
They never take down a toll booth, dude. No,
yes.
That'd be great if a guy was there charging a nickel per pass. Travis, did you ever hear about the? This is allegedly a true story about the guy that was the parking lot attendant at the zoo in England. There's a zoo in England, huge zoo, giant parking lot. And at the front of the parking lot, there was this old man that sat in a little shack, and he collected $5 per car as people came in. For years, for like 22 years, this guy sat and was there almost every day, collecting $5 from every car that came through to park. One day, he's not there, and couple days go by, he's not there. And this one family that's there quite a bit, finally one day goes up to it's this huge rolling parking lot, apparently. They get up to the front desk and they said, hey, where's the old guy that collects the money at the parking gate? What? Like the old guy that's been taking our money for 22 years at the gate. We don't charge to park. This guy, they did the math on it, and they think that he can't. They have no idea who the guy was. They think he got over $2 million.
Wow. I said it kind of tongue in cheek about making it a toll bridge, but it's not that far-fetched of an idea. You sell yourself a $10 season pass, 6 home games. You want to walk across the bridge. You've got a little QR code scanner right there. You Venmo, hey, it's $2 to walk across on one game, $10 for the whole season. Venmo the money, QR code yourself, and you're up and going.
Travis, now that we're down this slippery slope, don't you charge more for certain games than others? I mean,
that's why you're incentivized by buying the season pass.
Yeah, isn't it? It's $2 if you want to come across for non-con. Iowa's here. It's $15 to cross the bridge. Do you want to cross? You want to see the game or not? It's not that bad. It's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal, guys. For the three of us, just $45.
Well, so we're getting ready to build a pretty good sized parking garage, right? And where this is going is they're going to fluctuate prices on what's going on in the neighborhood during that time of day.
That's going to go well.
But it automatically changes on the digital board. So you could pull up at 2:00 in the afternoon to go shopping, and it's $2 an hour, right? You come at night when there's a concert going on in the amphitheater, well, then it's like a $10 price. It's actually kind of smart. They do this in other cities. The toll bridge. I actually kind of like the idea.
This was the zoo I was talking about was the Bristol Zoo. Parking lot attendant fooled everybody for over 20 years. I'm trying to find. I remember one of the articles giving me an actual number of what they thought the guy had eventually took off with. And nobody knows who he is.
I'm trying to make sure this hadn't changed yet, because a lot of people are saying it.
What's that?
Well, beer sales at Jack Trice.
Oh, I've seen this brought up a lot, man. A lot of people have said, "All right, Jamie, time to re-engage. Let's get the beer sales to the people, and that'll solve the problem."
I mean, I don't know what the projected. Let's say you made $1 million a year off beer sales at Hilton Coliseum and Jack Trice Stadium.
It's a dent. It's a dent into that.
Dent.
It's a dent.
But every little thing helps when you're talking about trying to reduce $147 million worth of debt.
Yeah, and man, again, I'm not trying to make these arguments. Everybody has heard them. The way I understand the logic from Jamie Pollard is the liability is not worth that. There's enough pushback from the guys who give me big money, and there's enough liability that it's not worth me doing that for the dent that would put in what we're looking at. And maybe he will change his mind. Maybe it is enough to go, okay, we're going to do that. And we're going to put gambling kiosks in on the corridors, and we're going to have Bud and Mary's come sell vape pens to people in the. I mean, I don't know. Maybe when you go to the Board of Regents, the Board of Regents says that. All right, Jamie, time to start selling alcohol. Do they have that power? I don't think they have that control. They don't have jurisdiction again.
I can, just from my own experience, when I've been to stadiums that sell alcohol for college games, of course, pro games they do, I've never seen a problem. For years, the NCAA pushed back on alcohol sales. They did a test run at the College World Series, and now the College World Series sells beer. And I've never, sure, you're going to have a couple, but it's never been a major problem. You have a certain shutoff time. I've never experienced the problems that people worry about.
I've seen a lot of people bring that up as a possible solution, though, Trav. So a lot of people are wondering if that's something that will get readdressed. I don't think that's a fix-all or cure-all.
No.
I think that it's a drop in the bucket, and maybe that's worth it. Maybe they're going to readdress it. I'm not nearly smart enough to guess on that.
I feel sorry for a guy like Kevin Dresser, though, who Iowa State wrestling it keeps getting better, and you want to compete. I mean, Iowa just launched its amazing wrestling facility and you want to compete in those facilities and you want to be able to pay your wrestlers, does not updating the wrestling hurt that sport? Yes, it does. 100% does. But you got to trim the fat someplace, and it's going to be with programs that traditionally don't make money.
So put yourself in Kevin Dresser's shoes for a minute. Maybe that was part of the appeal of coming to Iowa State was, hey, this is our long-term plan. We're going to do this. We're going to do this the right way. We're going to get Iowa State back to where it's supposed to be, and you're the guy that's going to lead the ship that direction. And then this stuff happens, and you have to look him in the eye and go, hey, man, that thing we promised you and we told you we're going to do, it's off the table for a while. So Kevin Dresser, where are you going to go? Is there some place out there that now you can find that's saying, oh, okay, we'll build that facility? No.
You're 100% right in that.
I don't want to say Iowa was lucky. Iowa is not in the same position as Iowa State for a lot of different reasons, but conference and the big money is one of that. But Iowa was also lucky to get this facility completed, have it all exactly.
100%.
Yeah. So I don't know what if you're in Kevin Dresser's boat, I don't know what you do there. You just kind of ride it out and go, all right, well, I can weather this storm. We're getting in a good position. But people have said it in the chat, UNI is in a better position than Iowa State. In wrestling. In wrestling specifically. It just in their ascension right now. And with this latest little hiccup, I don't think Kevin Dresser is in a bad spot, and I think he's the right guy for this job. He's still bringing in really good wrestlers.
Great dude.
Great dude, and bringing in. It seems like I don't know Kevin Dresser as a guy. I know him as a coach, and he seems like a wonderful coach, and he obviously brings in great, talented kids. They're going to be fine. It's just the job gets a little tougher.
515-517-2303. That's the number to call. We got an hour in the books. We got an hour to go. Good to have you along on a Monday morning. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
This July, splash into savings at Willis Chevrolet of Granger, where the deals are heating up and the prices are cooling down. Right now, get 0% for 36 months on the rugged and reliable Silverado 1500. Looking for a mid-size truck? Drive off in a new Colorado with lease payments starting at just $399 a month. Head to Willis Chevrolet of Granger today or visit us online at willischevy.com and make a splash with your next ride.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, on the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, good to have you here this morning. YouTubers, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like, leave your comments, and of course you can follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram. What's up, Ross Peterson? That was it. Fun first hour. You got a lot out of the way there.
Fast first hour. Yeah. I know you've got a lot more to get to, and I've got some goofy stuff too. So you let me know when we want to talk about the USA swimming team getting food poisoning.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. I do want to tell everybody that we do have Iowa Corn 350 tickets to give away. NASCAR coming to the Iowa Speedway this weekend, and you got a short window. This went live, I think, on Saturday morning, and if you go to therushradio.com, click on the promotions tab, all we're asking for is your name, your email address, your telephone number. We have 2 pair to give away. 2 pair to give away to the Iowa Corn 350. This is a sold-out event. I can tell you right now, how hot are these tickets? We were talking to Jeff Klein from Choice Creative on Thursday, I believe it was, and like just on the secondary market, we're talking $200 a ticket. These are worth something. All right, and this is a big deal. They're coming off the Brickyard 400. Bubba Wallace just won the Brickyard 400, becomes the first black driver to win a major event at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That includes NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One. Ended a 100 race drought for Bubba Wallace. He hadn't won since the year 2022. And so, and Bubba Wallace is no stranger to the Iowa Speedway. I think he was on with us, probably 10 years ago when he was driving.
Wow. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I think he was part of the Waffle Belly conversation. Remember the Waffle Belly conversation?
Was he the Waffle Belly guy?
No, I think we had 2 drivers on at the same time. Yeah. He came into the studio, and we always asked, what are the groupies like? And what are your nickname for groupies? Because you got groupies in basketball, you got groupies in hockey, you got groupies in baseball. We're like, what are racing groupies? They're Waffle Bellies. And we had to go back. They go, where they wear the crop top and put their bellies up against the chain link fence, and it's made a waffle belly. I think he was part of that conversation.
In my mind, that was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. that said that to us. But maybe it was Bubba. Maybe it was those 2 guys that were in the studio together.
Yeah,
that could be.
I don't think it was Bubba that said it, but I think he was part of that conversation.
Okay. Yeah, happy for him. That's very cool. And this is a great prize that we're giving away. I love it.
Yes. And, Jeff let me know. He goes, hey, we do have tickets to Friday and Saturday too. So we there might be some bonus stuff that goes along with that, which is really, really cool. And later on in the week, we're going to have a representative from the Iowa Speedway on. We're going to have a representative from Iowa Corn on, just to talk about this big event coming to Iowa Speedway, the Iowa Corn 350. Caitlin Clark did not play yesterday, Ross. A couple things with Caitlin Clark. Her rookie card, another rookie card sold. Smashed the record. She had a 1-of-1 that was autographed by Caitlin Clark. And then I think underneath it, she put her season total points from last year and just the beginning or something like that. Her rookie card sold for $660,000, almost double of what her rookie card and another 1-of-1 set sold for a year ago. $660,000. Wow.
Does she get a cut of that?
I don't think so. Went straight to auction.
So she was basically paid for the signature.
Yep.
And then the panini, because she's a panini rep, right? She's sponsored by Panini. Huh. Interesting.
That's a game. Do you know Gary Vaynerchuk?
Yeah. The wine guy.
The wine guy, or he's also into
he's all sorts of things.
I get
it. Yeah,
much like cryptocurrency. And Rev, don't start chatting. I don't understand it. I don't understand the buying and selling of cards and what people find value in that. And for some reason, like Pokemon cards are still like a big deal. I'm like, I don't even know what Pokemon is. Kind of got out of my, I'm too old for that. But I'm like, where's the value here? To me, it's going to be like a Beanie Baby bust, right? Remember Beanie Babies when they would...
Babies?
You remember Beanie Babies?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, those were, they're good investment.
Yeah.
Good investment, those Beanie Babies.
Sure they were.
Like starting lineup figurines when I was a little kid.
Well, my mom, before she passed, I have every Budweiser mug. Christmas mug.
Another good one. Yeah.
So I have from 1980 through 2025 or 2024, every Budweiser Christmas mug. We were missing 80, 81, and 82 when we first started the collection. And at the time, those were the least populated ones. And I remember Mom paid like $300-400 a piece so all four of us could have the entire collection. I tried to unload the entire collection after she passed away because I didn't want to disappoint her. But now it's like, I don't want these mugs in my house anymore. I cannot find anybody. They're like, I'll give you $25 for the collection. I'm like, what? $25 for the collection? They're like, it's just not worth anything anymore.
That's so the thing that makes this Caitlin Clark special is the one of one thing.
Yes.
Dude, I'm with you. It's not for me. My buddy Jay at JCD and Hobby, this is the world he lives in. Joe Knapp from Hat Trick Break. This is their industry. Getting things signed and the money that's involved with that memorabilia stuff, it's wild, dude. It's a freaking huge industry.
Now you have a lot of stuff behind you. Do you have anything that you think that you've collected over time where you have like multiple sets of things or in multiple years that something came out every year?
I'm such a nerd. You want to know what I probably have the most items of a single product? I have like 20 different versions of Trivial Pursuit. There's like a Saturday Night Live DVD version, an 80s, a 90s, a 2000s. There's Genius 2. There's Trivial Pursuit for kids. I have dozen or more Trivial Pursuits.
But they're probably all used and
they're all beat
to a little bit.
Yeah, right. They're worth nothing.
Yeah. That's the thing is, well, did you use it? Yeah. Well, then it's not worth as much. You needed to keep the foil and the cellophane around it to make sure that it was preserved for like ever.
I love it. Now people are throwing their own ones out there. Precious Moments figurines. Oh.
Used to be a big... Matter of fact, I just drove through where Precious Moments down in Missouri, close to Joplin, right? And those things aren't worth anything what they used to be. Longenberger baskets. Remember that? Oh, you got to buy these.
Dude, I love eBay. You type in Precious Moments figurines on eBay. You can find a $35 Precious Moments, and you can find a $9,000. Dusty, you and me both. Dusty says, I got a ton of Don Mattingly baseball cards. Baseball cards would be the thing that I collected, that I have the most of. I think that obviously.
Cabbage Patch Kids. Remember Cabbage Patch Kids? I got a Cabbage Patch Kid when I was young. Because I'm like, I got to have that for Christmas, Mom. It's going to be worth money. I don't even know where the Cabbage Patch Kid is anymore. I think we donate him to Goodwill. The things we get locked into.
Tyler says, I went by the Cabbage Patch Kids Hospital in Georgia.
Is there such a thing?
Oh, my God.
No way. There's not a Cabbage Patch Kid hospital, is there? There can't be.
What the?
What? Okay, I take it there is.
What? Babyland General Hospital is the fictional, quote, birthplace, end quote, of the Cabbage Patch Kids dolls located in Cleveland, Georgia. Xavier Roberts converted a former clinic into a retail facility for the sale of his dolls, originally called Little People. This is beyond creepy. Oh, my God. That's a real thing. That's a real thing.
And they probably charge like $10-15 to get in. Come to the Cabbage Patch Kid Hospital.
This is great. I dated a girl who ruined a trip to the Dells because she wanted to see the Precious Moments Chapel on the way. We weren't dating when we got back home.
We have to stop here. Why? Were you going to the Dells or were you going to the Ozarks? Because when I hear the Dells, I hear Wisconsin. Is there a Precious Moments Chapel in Wisconsin? I know there's a Precious Moments Chapel in Carthage, Missouri.
When I typed in Precious Moments, the first thing that popped up was the Precious Moments Chapel, Carthage, Missouri. He must have meant he was headed down to the Ozarks.
Okay.
Holy wow, weird.
Again, odd silence.
And every different strokes for different folks, man. We are weird freaking creatures. We are weird creatures. You start looking at this stuff and you're like, this exists and it's popular and it's been around. Like it not just wasn't like some guy created this and it was like, oh, you know, that thing happened one time. No, it exists. People go to this thing. Girls make their boyfriends go out of their way to go to the Precious Moments Chapel.
You're right. A Caitlin Clark 1-of-1 card makes a lot more sense than porcelain figurines.
Everybody's got their own little itch, don't they, dude?
They do. They do. Amazing.
Wild. And the American Girl, that's American Girl dolls. That's like the new Cabbage Patch Kid.
They have a hospital too, I see, either in Kansas City or Chicago.
Corey from Bats and Bugs. I'm with you on this one, Corey. He says, I have like 10 John Elway starting lineup figurines. I'm looking at a Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle starting lineup figurine right over there. Starting lineups.
The only thing I used to collect, which was really cool, and I don't know where they happened. I think my dad threw them out, but and you might remember this. I used to have like every Major League Baseball team, the plastic helmets that you can wear around that were adjustable.
That's cool.
Now, and I wonder if those would have been worth more today, just because I don't think you can buy them anymore. They were always the mini helmets we go get an ice cream thing, but that you could get like a plastic helmet that you'd wear during a wiffle ball game. You'd go outside and like, what am I wearing today? I'm wearing the Baltimore Orioles because that always seemed to be the hard one to get, and it was really, really cool. I could get a Kansas City one or a Cubs one, no problem, but it was like there were ones that were just really hard to get. If I would have kept the Expos one, right? I mean, it's like, oh man, if I would have kept those,
I could finally be Boog Powell. I got my Baltimore Orioles cap.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, you're a nice Expos hat. Who are you going to be? I'm Rusty Staub.
I'm Gary. I was always Gary Carter.
Gary Carter. That was my brother's favorite player. Yeah. Yeah. I always liked being like when I was like, I'd wear my Cubs hat. I wanted to be Leon Durham. He had kind of a funky stance.
And he threw the ball really hard.
And Travis, I feel like the plastic helmet was it was more to me. It represented, because to me as a kid, you had to win them. You won
like
that
to Adventureland and like guess the weight or something like that.
Speedball.
Yes,
Speedball was always where you could win the helmets. I always thought, I can do speedball because you don't have to throw it hard. You just have to know how hard you're throwing. I don't ever remember winning.
Did that make them more of a collectible because you had to win them at speed? Because you couldn't go to Kmart, you couldn't go, and that's a reference for old people like me, or you couldn't go to Target and get a plastic helmet. You either had to two ways. You had to win them at an amusement park or a carnival, or you had to go to said stadium and get them.
That's a good point.
The cool thing about the plastic helmet. Now we all grew up with the Hutch helmet for football, right? You'd get your favorite team and it would have but you couldn't wear that around. You could really use the plastic helmet as a hat. You could wear it around and people wouldn't think you were weird. You're like, oh, got a plastic helmet on.
You'd ride your bike with it. You felt safe.
Yes. Even though it wasn't, but you're right. You got your helmet on? Yep. Going with the Mariners today. Going with the Mariners.
And then every now and again, the little insert thing would pop out, and one of those little deals would poke your head. And if you were really committed, you'd still wear the helmet.
I would take I'm sure this made my parents mad, because how I would assemble the helmets, I'd have them all on my wall. So 20 plus helmets. I'd take thumbtacks, and a thumbtack would you could hang it on there. You wake up every morning and say, "What do I want to wear today?" Then, as now a homeowner, you realize my kid just put 25 thumbtack things in the wall. Got to patch that. Oh man,
that's great. Wake up every morning. Who do I want to be today?
Yes, and that's what it was. I wish I still had all those, because I promise you, there's not too many people who'd have the entire. And when I was doing that, the Diamondbacks weren't around, the Marlins weren't around, the Nationals weren't around, but it was just that core group. But
the Angels were the California Angels.
Yes.
Back in the good old days.
And they had a helmet which was much like the Orioles, meaning it was darker color in the back with the white kind of triangle and then the A logo with the halo in it.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phillies and Yankees helmets would be the exact same. Dodgers helmet would be the same.
Cubs was the same. Yeah. Royals was always the same. I don't think the Royals have changed since back then.
Right. Beginning of time.
Yeah. But besides Caitlin Clark's rookie card selling for $660,000, she did not play again yesterday, Ross. The Fever ended up beating Chicago. Angel Reese didn't play. And again, total opinion, just throwing this out there. Because now, when she was hurt the first time, there was an update all the time. Now to shut off the talk, they just say, hey, it's a day-to-day thing. You never know when she's going to come back. She's missed over half the games. I'm just asking this question. Do you think there's talk of shutting her down?
Yes. Is there? Oh, okay. That's not the question I thought you were going to ask. Is there talk of shutting her down? Yeah, definitely. There's talk of shutting her down, but they won't. But I've just told you this. They're not going to announce it. They're not going to. Yeah. Again, the two stories back to back. One single card sold for $600,000 with her autograph on it. If last week they would announce that she's got some sort of season-ending injury, does that affect the value of that card? What if it's a career-ending injury? Does that affect the value of that card? I could reach out to Jay and ask him. I think the answer to that question is a very obvious yes. So again, there's an industry behind this woman. It's not a business. It's the Jay-Z line. I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. She is an industry, and everybody attached to it knows that. So they can't. Joe's listening. That's my buddy Joe Knapp from Hat Trick Breaks with JCD and Hobby. So they have. This is my fear with it. It's just my conspiracy theory brain running. I
love your conspiracy
The
theory
minute she
brain
got
running.
hurt, I said this to you, like, well, dude, what if she's really hurt? They're not gonna tell us. They're not gonna tell us. They're gonna string this thing out as long as they can. And then she does come out and she plays and she does decent. She looks right until she gets hurt again. So I don't know, man. I think, is there talk of shutting her down? Absolutely. There's got to be. My fear is that the bigger conversations are happening too, of like, man, what's the long-term plan? We got to shut her down for a while so that we can get a few more years out of this thing. But we can't tell people, all right, we're shutting it down for this year. Dude, look at what's happened with Zion. When Zion is on the court, that dude's freaking amazing. Like,
and the statistics back it up.
He's unbelievable when he's healthy enough to play the games. And I think that he's to that point right now after just a couple of years, I mean 5-6 years of Zion being in the league, where even when he plays, people are like, oh, yeah, dude that never plays is out there. I think the last couple of years he's actually played the majority of the games. But he's still got that reputation of being hurt all the time and not being out there. We were just looking at him the other day for some reason. I don't remember why you and I, why, but we pulled up his stats and we were like, dude, this guy's a freak.
Well, remember, he's getting accused of sexual assault too.
That's
remember?
maybe that's why it was. We saw that story and we pulled it up for that. So, but I only reference him in that way of, remember where his reputation and what his potential was and what kind of industry he was, and now where it is even after a couple healthy years, but he's got all this other baggage now. When you're hurt and you're not there, it affects it all. She's out there. She's in the public light. She's still doing stuff.
I agree with you. I believe there's probably has it crossed their minds, but at the end of the day, if she is healthy, I saw somebody put earlier. I never saw this, that ESPN said out till at least August 12th. I never saw that. Latest report I read this morning was still kind of day to day, but August 12th would be almost a full month off. She hasn't played since July 15th or July 12th, one of those dates. And I think they make the playoffs. Somebody said they don't make the playoffs without her. Hey, they won yesterday. They're still in the playoff hunt. They're not a bad team without her. They're not a great team without her, but they're not a bad team without her. Kelsey Mitchell had 35 yesterday.
And maybe dude's right. Get her healthy for a playoff run. Let's hope that's what it is.
Yeah.
Let's hope that that's what the plan is here. And I love the day-to-day. Vin Scully had the great line. Listed as day-to-day, but aren't we all?
And the answer to that is yes. We are all day-to-day. Hey, are you a steps guy? I wear this stupid watch, right? This
do I count my steps?
Yes.
No, I don't. I've been interested in it. I'm curious how much I walk.
They've always said the benchmark's like 10,000 steps a day, which comes out to about 5 miles.
Okay.
I got news for you steppers out there. And this actually kind of motivated me a little bit because I could never, unless I actually purposely went on a walk every night, I could never get to the 10,000 steps. They've been doing studies to see the benefits of said steps. 10,000 may not be the benchmark anymore, Ross. 7,000 is now the benchmark.
Make this like this attainable goals. Attainable goals.
Well, that's it. You're lowering the bar for me. The goal becomes now more attainable. They found that when you did 7,000 steps, that you had a 47% decrease in chance of death or risk of death. You had a 38% decrease in dementia, and you had a 22% decrease in the possibility of getting type 2 diabetes. And if you compare that to the 10,000 steps, it was minimal change between the 7 and the 10. So now I'm like, oh yeah, I can reset my watch. to my goal to be 7,000 steps instead of 10,000 steps.
So in that way, you can get that little satisfying thing of completing the ring or whatever your watch does that congratulates you. Says, way to go.
Yeah, it buzz says, congratulations, goal met. Yeah. And dude from Iowa isn't wrong. It's hard to get in 7,000 steps. If you don't purposely go on a walk, if you just rely on your motion throughout the day, it's hard. Not easy.
I love this. We are such simple creatures. This is awesome. They change the benchmark for you and you go, yes, success.
It's the way I'm built.
It'd be like if science,
if they went to 15,000, I would have been.
Yeah, right. Think if they came out and they were like, scientists have now discovered that being 5'7" is officially tall. And guys that were 5'8" would be like, yeah, about time. I'm tall, baby.
At 5'11", I'd be like, I'm a giant.
I'm huge.
I'm massive.
We've now changed obesity. And it used to be if you're over 300 pounds, you're obese. Now it's 350. That dude that's 325 is like, yes, healthy again, baby.
I don't like the obesity. Do you know I'm still obese?
That's a ridiculous, the obesity thing. We've all known big dudes that were really athletic.
Yes.
I shouldn't say dudes, women. Yeah, I've seen big women. You do a cartwheel, you're like, damn, lady. I'm skinny. I can't do a cartwheel. My knees are all bent. Looks like I got hurt. When I do a cartwheel, it looks like somebody shot me just as I try to do the cartwheel. Like right as my hands go to the ground, it looks like something went wrong. I look good on my approach, and then about right here, it's like, oh, he's never done one of those.
I'm the lightest I've been since 1991. And the scale, because of my body fat still, well, you're still obese. I'm like, I can't lose anymore. I've tried.
Yeah.
It's an unattainable goal. If I got down to 165, I would look sickly. I'd look horrible. 515-517-2303. What'd you say? The Olympic swimming team got a little food poisoning?
Oh, dude, yeah, they got food poisoning. USA swim team got a bout of acute gastroenteritis.
Well, explain that to us when we come back.
It's diarrhea.
On the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Willis Infinity. We got some great stuff going on this month. This month, we actually have 0% all the way out to 60 months on a brand new 2025 QX60 and 0% out to 36 months on both 80s, 50s, and 55s. Of course, we do offer loyalty still on the QX60s and 50s and 55s. For more information, visit us online at willisinfinity.com or see us in our showroom.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life, Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Hey, it's Marion over at Land Rover Des Moines, and I have one question. When was the last time you got an oil change? If it's been a while, come on down and take advantage of our new express service, where we'll get your oil change done in and out same day. Swing on by to drop off your car, schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
Rush, strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Quick reminder that in Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Corn grows feed for the livestock, food for the families, and clean-burning fuel. For your drive to the game this fall, drive clean with Unleaded 88 and support Iowa corn farmers. Go to iowacorn.org. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Of course, we're going to be talking more about the Iowa Corn 350 coming up later on in the week. NASCAR coming to the Iowa Speedway. For your chance to win a pair of tickets, we have two giveaway. Go to therushradio.com. Click on the promotions tab. Just enter your name, your telephone number, and your email address, and we'll be giving those away later in the week. That's NASCAR, the Iowa Corn 350, coming up at the Iowa Speedway. All right. Olympic team pooping? You said the Olympic team pooping? What happened?
U.S.
Pooping in the pool?
No, thank God, no. No, that's you got to clear out the pool. It's just a baby Ruth. This is from NPR. The USA swimming team members are recovering from acute gastroenteritis as they compete in the World Aquatic Championships in Singapore. So that might be our first clue for some context here. U.S. swimming team goes to Singapore, and they end up with something that is called traveler's diarrhea. Referred to, the CDC refers to this acute gastroenteritis as traveler's diarrhea. It usually is bacteria such as E. coli, parasites including Giardia, and certain.
Isn't it like when you go to Mexico, they tell you not to drink the water, right? Because it's Montezuma's revenge. That's what it is.
It's
Montezuma's revenge.
Yeah, that's good. Good. Yeah, you've been there. That's what they serve you at the. Never mind. They can be treated with IV fluids. It's usually from contaminated food or water. Is usually how you get this. Yeah, Rob said the same thing. Rob's been to the same shows that you've been to. Interesting.
Oh, Nogales. Oh, Tijuana.
The neurovirus alone causes 685 million cases of acute gastroenteritis worldwide each year. So this is not uncommon. Very, very common. And they'll be okay. They'll be out there in the pool in no time. And good luck to the ladies. Tour de France wrapped up, Travis. You're aware. I'm sure you were following.
Well,
as everybody.
No, I had no idea the Tour de France was even going on. I knew Ragbri was, but I had no idea the tour was going on. By the way, you see where David Robinson rode for 2 days?
Yeah.
in Ragbri?
Dude, who was it? Which one of our friends ran into him and got a photo with? Was it Jason Parkin?
I don't know who.
One of our friends and was like, dude, I ran into David Robinson today, and he's like, and by the way, his bike is huge. Did you see the
7-1?
Dude, how sweet would that be to run into the Admiral? And it was like one of those days. It was 140 degrees too.
Oh. But so that shows you how big Ragbri is. Because I mean, you've had Lance Armstrong ride it. I mean, David Robinson just shows up and says, "I'm going to ride a couple days." That's a pretty cool thing. But I do have a question about the Tour de France.
All right, go ahead. Don't ask me to pronounce the winner's name.
I'm not asking you this.
Thank you.
But the only highlight I've seen of the Tour de France, did some like average spectator get on a bike? And I watched these security guards basically knock him off his bike and arrest him. Like he's right. He's got the biker shorts on. He's got the biking jersey on. He's hauling ass. And I'm like, oh, that looks like a rider. And all of a sudden you see a security guard shoulder check the dude and make him fly off the bike. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And come to find out, it's like just an average person just got on their bike and started riding.
I didn't know. I didn't see that. I didn't see any of the Tour de France. I didn't even see highlights of it. I just saw the winner.
Good for you, by the way. Good for you.
I just saw the winner holding his flowers and stuffed animal up in the air. His name is Tadej Pogacar. Tadej Pogacar. He won the Tour de France for the fourth time. Four-time winner of the Tour de France. And then this story comes out from MSN.com. This is a story that I remember from years ago, Travis. Headline: Tour de France confronts a new threat. Are cyclists using tiny motors? Now, there is a documentary that is a really interesting ride, but you got to suffer through some stuff. It's called Icarus, Icarus. And it's about the blood doping scandal. It's primarily about the blood doping scandal, but then about halfway through, it takes some really interesting turns. It's primarily about cycling and how these guys used the technology and science that they use to blood dope without actually taking steroids and how that works. And it's a very scientific and technological first hour. And then all of a sudden, the second half of this documentary, it opens up into this really fascinating world where it goes into the Russia Olympic doping scandal, the Major League Baseball doping scandal. You see hidden camera footage. They show you blueprints of how the Russian Olympic doping scandal worked, how they had rooms with fake walls in them with holes hidden that they could slide urine samples back and forth through. It's wild. I mean, it's really crazy what they were doing to cheat. Part of that documentary is, oh yeah, by the way, the next thing in cycling are these little tiny motors that you can put inside the frame of the bike. You don't see them.
Not detectable.
Non-detectable. They don't put off any heat signatures. They don't have any sort of start. They basically start off of this, not centrifugal force is the wrong word for it. What's the Travis, what's the inertia? They take the inertia of the bike and grab that energy and then start to basically assist in the power of the turning of the pedals.
And when you're going up a mountain, I'm sure that helps.
But it makes a big difference. So this has been going on for, I'm going to guess that's almost a decade ago or so. This has been going on, and right now the Tour de France is like, oh, hey, wait a minute. Wait, these guys might actually be doing that thing that a decade ago people told us, hey, they're doing this. It's really cool science, man.
Now, to the average rider, I'm okay. E-bikes are a big deal.
Yeah.
Bruno's got an e-bike.
But again, most e-bikers, they don't care if you can see the battery on them, right? And if I rode an e-bike, I wouldn't care that people knew I think they're really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's an old fact. Remember the mopeds when they first came out? They had pedals. You'd have a pedal moped.
Now that you say that, yes. How did that work?
That's how you got the engine going. It was like an e-bike before an e-bike.
Really?
I believe so.
Dude, now that you say that, I have seen mopeds with pedals.
Yeah. I had a Yamaha moped growing up.
That was basically a little dirt bike, wasn't it?
It wasn't a dirt bike. Probably just an 80cc street bike is what it was.
Have you ever seen the
Never rode it with a helmet. I don't think I even licensed the damn thing.
You didn't have the orange flag?
I did till I thought this is stupid, so I took it off. And driving around in Minden, Iowa, it's not like you really needed the orange.
Well, listen, and when you're driving around Minden, it's all about picking up the chicks. I mean, it's girls left and right over there in Minden, and so you got to do what you can to stand out. And if taking the orange flag off and carrying a boombox with you is what does it,
I had both. I had the boombox and I had the moped. Want to hop on? Want to ride? We can make two fit on this thing.
You want to pedal one side, I'll pedal the other.
Hold on tight. We're going to top out at 38 miles per hour.
You either got to pedal or push, baby. Nobody rides for free.
Then you put a hole in the muffler to make it sound like a motorcycle.
Put a hole in the muffler.
Little punch.
So watch out, Tour de France. I hate to ruin. I don't mean to shatter the allure of the Tour de France, but they might be cheating, is what I'm saying. I hate to be the person that would break this to everybody, but they might be cheating in the Tour de France.
See, because your cynical brain has somehow, infused my brain through telepathic ways. I just assume now, and maybe I'm okay with it. I just assume in every sport, football, soccer, basketball, baseball, it doesn't matter, cycling, I just assume there's cheaters everywhere. Is that a bad way to go through life?
No. I mean, what's the thing? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. The winner is the best cheater, all that sort of stuff. I think in the Tour de France, that's been true for a long time. I think that's always kind of been the unspoken thing about NASCAR is who's the guy that's the best at getting around the rules, because they all are supposed to be in the exact same car with then you watch the cars go down the straightaway and you're like, oh, that one's faster. That's the fastest car.
Yeah, they had it set up right, Ross.
Exactly. Yeah.
Had it set up perfectly. Then they get in the post-race inspection. Oh, he was too low by, 1/8 of an inch. And you're like, 1/8 of an inch? Does it make that big of a difference? Yes, it does.
Desmond Watson is having a hard time making the roster with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the NFL's heaviest player ever, hoping to still make the roster, but has been put on the non-football injury list due to his weight. Coach Todd Bowles was quoted. This is from the AP News. It's about trying to get him better, to be a healthier player, and getting him on the field a little bit more, he said Wednesday. That's kind of where I'm at right now. He's working on it, and we're working with him, and that's all you can ask of him right now. Watson, who played
when you say heavy, how heavy is heavy?
Watson, who played at Florida, was signed after going undrafted in April. He weighed in at 464 pounds at the school's pro day. He lost 25 to 30 pounds before the draft. Bowles said, I don't have a timetable for when we can get him down or when that comes. He's from Armwood. He went to Florida. He's used to the heat. That's not a big factor for it. We've just got to see what happens. The 6'6" defensive tackle has been working with the team nutritionist, and the team doesn't have an ideal playing weight for him yet.
6'6", 4 what?
64 when he was at the Miami Pro Day, but they say that he lost 25 to 30 pounds before draft, and now he's been working with his nutritionist, and they're getting him down more, but they don't even have like an actual playing weight for him. So let's just assume if he was down 30 pounds down to 430.
You know what the key here is? 7,000 steps a day. That's the key. He just needs to walk 7,000 steps a day.
I do think that it is 464 pounds and you were playing Division I football, 464 pounds, and you were good enough that an NFL team said, hey, they didn't draft you, but they brought you in and they're giving you a chance, and they're putting that, like we were talking about how, big guys can be super athletic. This is a dude that would blow you away. Something about him you'd see and you'd go, oh.
And genetics probably plays a part. I'm not saying he can't lose weight, but what I'm saying is there's only going to be so much he can lose. I would think.
Yeah, that's a good point. What's his actual? That's why maybe that's one of the reasons they haven't come down to his haven't come out with like an ideal weight for him. Couple of things from over the weekend. Did you get to see have you seen any of the clips from Ichiro's Hall of Fame speech?
You mean how he didn't know in 2015? He didn't know who the Miami Marlins even were.
Dude, lots of stuff from that Hall of Fame speech. A little bit of a Michael Jordan thing there. Ichiro has a little bit of a stink streak in him, dude.
Now, it's funny how people interpret this because I read it as mixing humor with seriousness.
I think that's a good way to put it. But I mean, he took some jabs at people in that lighthearted. That's why I say there's a shade of that Michael Jordan thing. Like he said, 3,000 hits, 265 hits in one season. That was enough for all of you baseball writers to acknowledge. Well, all of you except for one. Alluding to that thing of he was almost a unanimous Hall of Famer, except for one jackass who decided he'd be the gatekeeper on Ichiro. Yeah, and then he called out Bob Costas. He said something about how, even when I was in Seattle with all of those bad teammates, right, Bob Costas? Again, he had a few little...
He's settling some scores.
That's a good way to put it. I like the way you say that. Settled some scores with it.
But he's also taking people that take that moral high ground because they're a baseball writer or you're Bob Costas.
Yeah.
And
here's an
your
axe.
Opinion matters.
This is an axe to that ivory tower that you sit in. That's a good way to look. Okay, and I do admire that. Didn't do it throughout his career, never do it, but has this one final time where people are going to pay attention to him, and he says, "Hey, a few people I'd like to call out for being the way they are."
But if you can do it in a humorous way, it comes off less dickish.
Yeah.
Does that matter? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's all in the delivery, dude.
Yes.
Kurt Schilling comes across as a jerk. That's Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning calls the kicker an idiot 19 times in an interview, and we all laugh at it. Huh. Yeah, it's about the delivery.
Because you know when Peyton Manning calls you an idiot, that there's probably still some sort of like love there. Like he delivers it in a way like, okay, he's being serious, but he's doing it out of the kindness of his heart. Idiot.
All right, this one I'm not so sure about. Maybe I should have brought this one up earlier because this might take some time, and I don't want to leave on kind of a heavy note, but we'll see where this goes. The headline caught my attention, and I'll read that to you also, but I want to tell you up front that I don't know how I feel about this story that I'm going to share with you. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you I'm going to tell you the story, and you can react to it. We can see how people think about it. The headline is ESPN cameras catch Little League manager in apparent assault on player. Okay, the headline is from SI.com. The headline is ESPN cameras catch Little League manager in apparent assault on player.
So the way I read that, the way you deliver that to me is that a parent is assaulting a player.
A parent being one word. In obvious.
Okay.
In
a parent assault.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I understand
not
what you're saying.
A parent assaulted a player. The coach is accused of assaulting a player. Okay. And they show the clip in the news article here that I'm reading. And it said an excellent softball game between Maine and Delaware during the Mid-Atlantic Regional Tournament on Thursday was overshadowed by inappropriate behavior in the dugout caught on cameras. After recording the final out in the bottom of the second inning, Camden, Wyoming team met in the dugout where manager Shani Benson appeared to assault one of her players. Benson, who was in a heated discussion with her daughter, reached across, putting her
parent.
I wanted to make sure that I know.
Okay.
Benson, who and maybe that's a part of the story that's important is to this as well, Travis. It is her daughter. Benson, who is in a heated discussion with her daughter, reached across, putting her hand to the player's face in what appeared to be an attempt to shush the 12-year-old athlete. The moment is hard to ignore as the broadcast booth went silent and the cameras quickly cut away to another part of the dugout. However, the damage had already been done. Now, when you see this clip, I'll try to describe it as best I can. It's a 12-year-old girl. She's, I mean, again, 12-year-old girl. She's a very good athlete. She's a big girl. And you can tell that her and her coach, who now you know is her mom, are having a pretty heated discussion. Like we've seen coaches and players have, and we've seen moms and daughters have. They're not fighting, but the player daughter starts to talk back while the mom coach is speaking, and she reaches up, Travis, and puts her finger against her lips.
That's it. Okay.
Now she does it in a fashion where the girls, you know what I mean? She doesn't just shush her. She kind of does the thing where she pushes. Yeah.
There's some force there.
In fact, Travis, what you're doing right there is about all the camera catches, and it cuts away that quick. Okay, they go, oh, and they cut away. And now whether they did that because, or that was, they were only going to show that part of the dugout for a second anyway. I say that I don't know how I feel about this story because I don't know how I feel about it, dude. I don't know if that's I don't like the fact that they put that in the headline. Like, oh, a coach assaulted a player and it got caught on camera. You're like, oh my God, did they like smack a player? This is some Woody Hayes stuff. Then you find out, no, it's a mom and daughter, and she's trying to talk to the team, and her daughter is talking over. It's not something that she should have done. I'm sure she did come out and apologize and say, yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
I think you have a different reaction to your own kids.
I'm with you. The fact that it's her kid, I feel like I give a lot more grace to that too.
My greatest time as a parent when it comes to coaching was coaching Owen in Little League. My least favorite time as coaching was coaching Owen in Little League because him and I would go, I mean, he's a lot wittier than I am. He's a lot smarter than I am. And he would always argue back with me because normally he was probably right. I just didn't want to admit it. You know how many times I kicked that kid out of the dugout? I'm like, just go sit down.
You better send this to Shawnee so that he gets an idea of what he's in for. Because he's going to be signing up to coach Little Miles as soon as he can. And you're going to love it and hate it.
And it is hard when it's your own kid. Now, if it would have been like a backhand slap, but if kid's talking back to you, and I went like that to my own kid, I think I have
the right
to do that.
I remember this from being a kid, and my dad was like the president of the Little League for a while, and was always involved. We lived across the street from the park, so we were always over there. So I know this happened more than one time, where almost, 99% of the time, a coach is going to have a kid on the team. I coached and didn't have a kid on the team. I was coached by a guy, Tommy Vale, who didn't have a kid on our team. But most of the time, there's a dad that's coaching the team. And I saw this happen more than once, where a dad would be correcting his son. And the umpire would say, hey, you're going too far. And the dad would say, that's my kid. You don't... there's this weird jurisdiction. Who's in charge of what, right? The dad's never going to say the umpire is 19 years old. You know what I mean? The umpire is just trying to maintain some sort of semblance of decency. And the dad says, no, you don't get to do that. I talk to my kid the way I want to talk to my kid. I do this when I want to do this.
But when it's on national television and people don't know that's your kid, the reactions are going to be strong and they're going to be fierce.
Yeah, so they issued an apology on social media, and the coach apologized for her actions. So all is forgiven, and I'm sure the girl didn't think twice about it, but maybe I'm wrong. Remember Hall of Fame wide receiver Andre Johnson with the Houston Texans? Played his whole career with the Texans.
Yeah, I do.
Houston Houston guy, man, really connected himself with the community. And somebody broke into his house and stole a bunch of his stuff, dude.
This is becoming more commonplace with these athletes and former athletes. They're being like stalked. People are I mean, it's like an organized crime ring where they find ways to get into your house to see what you had, whether that's through delivery drivers, all sorts of things. They scope your house out. It's bizarre.
So I'm going to just tell you up front, this is another one where welcome to 2025 with the headline, okay? This is a ride. Hall of Fame wide receiver Texans legend Andre Johnson's home burglarized per rapper Lil Keke. Dateline Houston, Texas, retired Houston Texans star wide receiver Andre Johnson is a victim of a burglary at his home, according to rapper and friend Lil Keke. KRPC2 has confirmed with the source several sentimental football items were stolen from Johnson's home that are special to him and commemorate his NFL career, in addition to jewelry. Lil Keke disclosed the situation on social media in a video. This is real. Lil Keke disclosed the situation on social media in a video post detailing the incident involving the former All-Pro wide receiver. It also asked for help from the general public to attempt to recover the stolen items. So again, breaking news from Lil Keke on social media, and basically police work in a way, saying, "Hey, everybody, help us out." Lil Keke trying to get to the bottom of this thing.
Is it bad that I've never heard of Lil Keke?
Dude,
Lil
Keke. And maybe I'm saying it wrong. Keke? Is that Keke?
Oh, it's not Kai Kai.
We'll go with Keke. Lil Keke. And I think it's key because his social media handle is actually Donkey713. So breaking news.
Breaking news.
I love it. Stand by for news. Lil Keke is reporting out of Houston. Burglaries.
Oh, man. Good way to end the show.
Crappy way for Andre Johnson, man. That's a
yeah.
Getting a bunch of your stuff
you know why? You get robbed, and it doesn't matter if it's your car, it's your house, even at work. When somebody takes your food out of the refrigerator, you feel violated.
It's a good word for it. Yeah,
you feel violated.
Yeah, somebody's been where they shouldn't have been. My stuff.
It's not yours. Don't take it. Jeez.
All right, buddy. Go have a Monday.
Well, yeah. You got big plans today? Selling houses?
Got to get some documents signed. Got some closings coming up. Got to get a flooring guy. I'm headed out to Altoona right now to get a flooring guy into a place. So, life for realtor, buddy. Lots of driving.
Well, you should be rested and recovered now. You've had plenty
feeling great, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome trip. Courtney caught a trout, which was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was she fly fishing?
No, but, sort of, but no.
We'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Don't forget, go register for those NASCAR tickets at therushladio.com. Click on the promo tab. We'll be giving those tickets away later on in the week. It is the Rush Radio Show.
Real
powered
hydration
by
with
Willis
electrolytes. No artificial dyes and coconut water. Choose better. Body Armor.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake. Burgers, craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time homebuyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on therushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, Service Manager here at Mini of Des Moines. July is here, and so is the hot summer heat. Now is the best time to get your Mini in to make sure it and your air conditioning is ready for your motoring adventures this summer. Visit us online at miniofdesmoines.com or give us a call to schedule your appointment.
Bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.